Hi, welcome to Hella Vella, and I am Azriel Lawless. This is another Lawless Reads episode. Here on Hella Vella, we talk about all things to do with Kindle Vella, the new exciting serial reading platform from Amazon Kindle. As I said, I am an author out on this platform. There are lots of great voices out on this platform, tens of thousands of stories available for you to read. The first 3 episodes are going to be free for everyone to read if they have an Amazon account. And Amazon gives you some free coins to try unlocking episodes so that you can get used to this. It's a really great way to read. Because it's like watching television, you wait for the next episode and you read the next episode. It's great. Or you can go into a story that is complete and just binge on all the episodes and read it like a book. It gives you a lot of flexibility, and we all need that with our busy schedules. So today we are going to read something called Galaxy Waffles, and I hope you enjoy it. It is by author Nicolai Wisekal. We're going to read episode 1. And let me read you this synopsis. Let's see. The intergalactic service industry isn't for the faint of heart. Join Boris, the chefbot, Murph, the alien shapeshifter, and Jolene, the human empath, as they try to keep their diner ship afloat while their corporate AI, OD, and their supervisor from hell, Erabella, watch their every move. And here we go. We're going to do episode 1. This has currently got, it's currently got 14 episodes. I like this flow. It's got a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy kind of vibe to it. The first episode is called Rogue Sushi. Here we go. Rogue Sushi, episode 1. Jolene liked it when things were boring at the diner. She could sit with a nice cup of coffee, watch the stars go by, listen to the gentle hum of the engines. One of those days would be nice someday. Right now, though, she was too busy holding her plasma scalpel in one hand while keeping every vent covered with her Volt Striker pistol. The regular lights were still on, so it hadn't found the main grid yet. Boris, you got eyes on it? She thought through her subdermal communicator. Foul beast, you killed my chef knife. Prepare to die. Boris's shout echoed off the walls of the diner. One wet chopping sound later, the diner walls shook with the psychic roar of the galaxy's worst pest. The flurry of emotions that hit Jolene's empathic senses came as words and sensations. Pain. Burning heat rushed across her skin. Kill. Rage, adrenaline raised the hairs on her arms. She gritted her teeth through it and in one fluid motion powered down the scalpel, twirled it into its holster, and ran like hell towards the sounds. The diner's halls narrowed the deeper you went. Jolene realized she'd taken her eyes off the vents and stopped. Thermal, she mentally shouted, and her vision filled with zones of white heat and cold blue. The Cthulian's mass was slithering through the air vents, converging on the kitchen. Thermal's off. She blinked her vision back to normal spectrum, took a moment for one deep breath, and without looking at the pistol, she set it for max charge. Hopefully, she could put it down without frying anything too expensive. The diner kitchen looked like a war zone and felt like a spilled emotional soup. Pots were misshapen lumps. The stovetop thermal coils looked like unwound slinkies. Something was wiggling and burning. Jolene felt the creature's pain and rage scrape on her mind like sandpaper. She focused on a single thought and repeated it until the words and sensations of the battle faded into the background. In the middle of everything was Boris, the chefbot. 5 feet of purple ichor stained steel, pot belly emblazoned with his old platoon sign, a roaring bear. Currently backlit in black and red, the shape shining through the layer of Cthulian blood. Oh, and every single arm was armed. Jolene spotted 2 superheated cleavers, 1 heavy-duty creme brulee torch, and for the last 2 arms, mini chainsaws he used for ice sculptures. The kitchen floor was worse. Purple Cthulian blood alongside a metaphorical ton of sliced and diced Cthulian. The single-eyed mass of undulating tentacles spidered across the ceiling with a pop of sticky suckers. The Lovecraftian cockroach was weaving back and forth, looking for its chance. Boris's torso swiveled. His four-eyed chrome dome followed it. Jolene needed to get a clear shot. With a waitress's grace, she stepped in low and slow. Tentacles surged at Boris from every angle. The chefbot's arsenal went to work. Each blade and saw hacked furiously, all while he pushed the creme brulee torch toward the Cthulian's eye. Jolene crept behind counter to counter until she had a front row seat to the fight. Crazy droid, try to leave enough for Eldritch Sushi, Jolene shouted. Both the bot and the pest turned to her. Jolene sighted down the Volt Striker's barrel, exhaled, and squeezed. The gel round crackled through the air and hit the beast right in the pupil. The smell of cooking eyeball nauseated Jolene, but the shot gave Boris an opening. "For the motherboard!" Boris yelled and descended onto the Cthulian with every tool. Jolene ran away from the precision butchery from the renewed psychic outcry, but she still felt wet stuff hit the back of her legs. Audible and psychic screams hit her ears and brain like thousands of nails all at once. She slammed her hands over her ears, dampening the audible screams. The psychic ones were hammering at her mental doors, and all she could do was press her will against them. "Main brain found," Boris shouted, his artificial voice box straining from his volume and enthusiasm. Jolene mentally shouted through her subdermal communicator, "Kill it!" Boris obliged by raising both superheated cleavers and cutting it like a sushi chef, thin and precise. The sounds were like something from an ancient Earth horror flick. "Death confirmed," she said, then groaned as sticky, slimy blood trickled down her leg. "Good shooting," Boris said. The chefbot's head was looking at her while his arms worked on processing the Cthulian. "Thank you. Wouldn't have been necessary if corporate didn't skimp on the damn shipping," Jolene grumbled. "You say that every time something like this happens," a high-pitched voice answered. Jolene rolled her eyes, looking around. Oh, on Boris's spice shelf was a 2-inch dark blue humanoid leaning on some freeze-dried garlic. "Murph, ever think that if I say it that much, it might mean that it's happening too much?" Jolene growled. A multitude of duplicates glanced at her from behind every spice. The little humanoid's lighter blue orb eyes flashed, smiling to show shiny white needle teeth. Jolene exhaled, again narrowing her thoughts with repetition. Murph's emotions always fell on her empathic senses like 1,000 raindrops. "At least we all get to file hazard pay," the multitude of Murphs said. Jolene powered down the Volt Striker and holstered it. "Boris and I were the ones facing hazards," she answered. She found an unstained kitchen towel and did her best to remove the blood. "You guys are the action heroes. I'm maintenance. Says so in my contract," Murph answered, with a multitude of humanoids cartwheeling down the counter and fusing into one whole humanoid. Jolene always thought it looked like a blue gelatin. Sadly, Murph's emotions went from raindrops to one big bucket pour when they were whole. At this rate the day was going, she was going to have to lie down with a migraine. "Well, while Boris finishes prep and I get a sonic shower, you can get our guests seated," Jolene answered, her customer service smile sweeter than apple pie. Murph shrugged their shoulders and reshaped themselves. Colors and curves filled out into a 4'9" ponytail blonde with familiar flashing blue eyes, apron and uniform included. Corporate loved employing Kyanese because no matter the customer, they could shift to that species and make the customer feel at ease. Jolene didn't care so long as Murph didn't mimic her. "Don't leave me all alone out there," Murph teased. Jolene shook her head. "Wouldn't dream of letting you have all the tips from the convention." Murph blew a kiss and skipped on towards the dining room. "Cameras tell me we only have 10 waiting out there." "Take a regular shower," Boris said. "But the water budget," Jolene started, and a notice popped up in the lower right-hand corner of her vision. The numbers showed there was enough for a blissful 15-minute shower. "I have been saving," Boris said, the eyes on the right side of his face winking. Jolene blew a kiss of her own to the chefbot, and one of his arms caught it. "I could kiss your processor," Jolene said. "Go before Murph gets overwhelmed," Boris said, multiple plates of Eldritch Sushi now arrayed on a recently cleaned counter. Welcome to Galaxy Waffles, home of the galaxy's best breakfast, Murph said in a thick Chicago accent they'd picked up from one of the gangster flicks they liked to watch. Jolene half sprinted toward her quarters. More like Galaxy's most dangerous breakfast, she grumbled. So that's it for episode 1 of Galaxy Waffles, but the really great thing is you get to have a little bonus here. There's always a note from the author, or at least most of them have a note from the author. Thank you for reading. If you like the story, please give it a like and a fave. They help me keep writing. So you get to hear from the author as you read the story. So this has been Galaxy Waffles, episode 1 on Kindle Vella. And signing off now for Hella Vella, Azrael Lawless for Lawless Reads.